Up next is Eric, and he'll talk to you about his recent expedition.
Hi everyone, hope you had a great summer. In July, I brought my family on a canoe camping trip in Algonquin Park. It's something I'd always wanted to do. Actually load everything up in the canoe, go find a camping spot and stay there for a few days and camp that way. There's nothing like getting off the roads. On our way, though, we stopped at the Brent crater, which is on the road on the north end of the park. If we can go to the next slide, please. This is a photo I took of the crater last year. And was it last year already?
Already.
Wow.
A couple of weeks ago.
Took this picture and where's the laser pointer?
Right there.
There we go.
Center button.
Center button, okay. So this is the crater here, the Brent crater. Took this photo when Chuck and I did our aerial exploration. And this is Cedar Lake here where we went camping.
That's a snow squall over there.
Yes, this is actually snow in the air. This photo was taken in August of last year, and we were treated to that. So the crater is about 3.5 kilometers in diameter. It has two distinct lakes, Tecumseh and Gilmore, and I always forget which one is which. And the way you get into the crater is the road that actually goes to Cedar Lake here. There's a little path that goes down to the crater, and it's about half a mile portage. Chuck and I actually portaged into this crater in 2007 with our canoe and did a trek like this, and we found some, I won't actually point out where the breccia is because we want to keep it our own, but there's breccia in here that no one else had ever seen. Right, Chuck?
Right on.
Yeah. I almost gave it away, but I won't. So this is the crater here, and the road comes in from the north. If you take Highway 17 north, heading towards North Bay, there's a turnoff to the park at a place called Two Rivers. And so you go down the road, you're heading south from the 17, and it takes about half an hour, and it's well worth going to because you'll be able to see this crater from the ground with a view that I actually prefer out of all three ways I've seen the crater. I've seen it from the air, we've gone into it, and the view that we get from the newly built lookout tower is actually my favorite because you can take all the time you want to study it. When you're in the air, you got to keep moving around. And when you're in it, you don't really see that you're in a crater. But from, if we can go to the next slide, please. Okay, sorry, this is another aerial view of where you take in to get into the crater from the trail. The trail is somewhere in here. Next slide, please. So this is the lookout tower that you'll see from the on the side of the road.
Not high enough.
It's actually built just high enough for you to see the crater. If they wanted to build a CN Tower version, you'd get a much better view, but I don't think they have the budget for it. And there's a little spot on the side here where you can pick up a pamphlet that gives a lot of interesting information. It's the same pamphlet we've had for the last few years, but they keep reprinting it, but that gives enough information about what it is. Let's go to the next slide. So this is the view from the tower, and you can see the road down at the bottom here. And the crater this is actually the far side of the crater on the opposite end. So you need to take time to understand what you're looking at. If we could go to the next slide. So I've panned right, and this is the center portion of the crater. This is Tecumseh Lake, and the trail actually comes off this side and gets in there. If you want to take a little walk into the crater, you can do that. It's about 20 minutes to walk down to the marsh from there. Next slide, please. And this is the far right view. We're on the east side of the crater, looking west. And again, that's another view of the lake. This lake is visible. The other one is not from the tower. But here we distinctly see the far rim, and we're actually on the rim of the crater on the east side where the road is. And as you walk down the trail, you're actually walking down into the crater, and it's a bowl shape. You can definitely feel it as you walk down. Next slide, please. And there's a bit more of a close-up of view. So we have an excellent view of the other side of the rim in here. And you know, for me, I think I appreciated seeing it more than most people would, because I've seen it from other angles, including the air. But this angle here really spelled it out for me, and it reminded me a bit of my trip to the Chubb crater in northern Quebec, minus the trees, because it's about the same size as the Chubb crater, and it gave me that same feeling. Next slide, please. And again, a close-up view of the far side of the rim. You see it very well in here. The Brent crater is probably the most accessible crater you can find. Most craters that we've gone to, Chuck and I, took a while to get to one way or another. In some cases, it's very expensive to get to. But if you want to see a real impact crater, this is a good place to start. Is there another slide? Okay, so that's the last slide. My lasting memory of this trip to the crater is spending time with my daughter on Cedar Lake exploring. And I taught her at least 3 things on this trip that I wanted to share with you. One was how to identify an impact crater. The next was how to fold a map. And the third was how to roast a marshmallow. All of which are equally important. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Eric, I was at the crater there on the July 1st weekend, coming back from northern Ontario. And I agree that the tower that's there, I was surprised in a sense at how short it seemed. I thought even if, and when I got up there, the view was actually not too bad, but I was thinking another 15 feet of elevation or would have been just fantastic. The road coming in, if you're coming from the north, dropping down from Highway 17, it's 32 kilometers in on this very dusty road. I ended up with more dust in my trunk than I think there is dust in the Sahara Desert.
Yeah, it takes about half an hour to get down to that tower. I don't know how much more of a view you would get, another 15 feet, or even if they doubled it in height, you know. But from that height, and also there's I forgot to photograph. There's a plaque on the on the tower right in front of you when you're looking, so you actually get to see what it's all about on this plaque. This very well done plaque that describes all the layers and how everything's laid out on the crater. So that helps a lot too. Great view, and I hope if you head out north on Highway 17, take the time to go and visit this place. It's well worth it. Thank you.